My hands shouldn't shake anymore when I see him, but they do. Every Thursday at exactly 8 p.m., Marco Castellano walks into Billionaire like he owns it. Maybe he does. I've learned not to ask questions in this city, especially not about men who command a room with their silence. Table 7 requests you again, Sofia, my manager whispers, his voice tight with something between respect and fear. I smooth my apron and approach the corner booth where Marco sits, his dark eyes tracking my every movement. He's younger than most billionaire CEOs, maybe 35, with the kind of dangerous elegance that makes smart women run. I've never been smart about these things. The usual? I ask, pen poised over my notepad. Sit with me. 2 words that shatter 6 months of carefully maintained boundaries. My new life has rules: stay invisible, don't make connections, never let anyone too close. This man is asking me to break all 3. I can't. I'm working. I bought the restaurant an hour ago. His voice is velvet over steel. You have the night off. My heart stops. Men like Marco Castellano don't buy restaurants on impulse. They buy them for reasons, for people, for leverage. He's bought this one for me. I slide into the booth across from him, knowing I'm making a terrible mistake. His cologne is expensive, intoxicating. Up close, I can see the tiny scar above his left eyebrow, the exhaustion he hides behind perfect control. You're afraid of me, he observes. I'm afraid of what you represent. Something flickers in his eyes, surprise, perhaps respect. And what do I represent, Sofia? Everything I ran from. Everything that could destroy the life I built. But I can't tell him that the last powerful man I knew sent 12 people to prison based on my testimony. I can't tell him that Sofia Martinez died 5 years ago, and I'm just a ghost wearing her name. Danger, I finally answer. He leans forward, and I catch my breath. What if I told you I find you far more dangerous than you find me? Before I can respond, his phone buzzes. He glances at it, and his entire demeanor shifts, the warmth vanishing, replaced by something cold and lethal. I have to go. But Sofia? He stands, buttoning his jacket. This conversation isn't over. He walks away, leaving me trembling in the booth. I pull out my own phone with shaking hands and stare at the emergency number I was given 5 years ago. If you're ever compromised, call immediately. I should call. I should disappear tonight. Instead, I watch Marco Castellano walk out into the night, and I know with absolute certainty that I'm about to ruin everything. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number, tomorrow. My office. 7 p.m. Don't make me come find you. How does he have my number? The address Marco sent leads to the top floor of the Castellano Tower, the gleaming skyscraper that dominates the city skyline. I stand in the marble lobby, wondering if security will even let me up. But the moment I give my name, the guard's eyes widen with recognition, or is it pity? Ms. Martinez. Mr. Castellano is expecting you. Private elevator, top floor. The ride up feels like ascending to my own execution. 65 floors of polished steel and glass, each second pulling me further from the safe, small life I built. The doors open directly into his penthouse office. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the city like a conquered kingdom. And there he is, standing by the glass, silhouetted against the sunset. You came. He turns, and the relief in his voice catches me off guard. You didn't give me much choice. There's always a choice, Sofia. You made yours. He gestures to the sitting area where champagne chills in a silver bucket. I want to know you. Why? The question escapes before I can stop it. Marco crosses to me, stopping just close enough to make my pulse race. Because in 6 months, you're the only person who's looked at me and seen a man instead of a weapon. Because when you're near, the noise in my head stops. His honesty disarms me completely. I should leave. Instead, I sit. For 2 hours, we talk. He tells me about building his business empire from nothing, about the loneliness of power. I share carefully edited stories from my fabricated past, a childhood in Arizona that never existed, parents who aren't mine, dreams I never had. With every lie, I hate myself more. With every word, I fall deeper. Stay for dinner, he says as the city lights begin to twinkle below. Marco, I can't. One dinner. Here. Just us. Something in his eyes pleads, and I realize this powerful man is as lonely as I am. Dinner becomes wine. Wine becomes confession. He tells me about the pressure of his world, the constant threat of hostile takeovers and corporate warfare. I almost laugh at the irony. He thinks his biggest dangers come from boardrooms. He has no idea what real danger looks like. Come here, he says softly. I should say no. Instead, I cross to where he stands by the window. He turns me gently to face the city, his hands warm on my shoulders. All of this, he murmurs near my ear, means nothing without someone to share it with. I close my eyes, letting myself imagine for one moment that this could be real. That I'm not Julia Hendricks, federal witness. That I didn't help send men to prison. That I'm actually Sofia Martinez, a waitress who caught a billionaire's eye. When I turn in his arms and kiss him, I know I've crossed a line I can never uncross. Hours later, I wake in his bed, moonlight streaming through the windows. Marco sleeps beside me, peaceful in a way I've never seen him. My phone glows on the nightstand. 3 missed calls from an unknown number. When I check the voicemail, my blood turns to ice. Julia Hendricks. It's been a long time. Vincent Moretti sends his regards. He's out, and he knows where you are. Call your handler. Tonight. I slip out of Marco's bed at dawn, my hands shaking as I dress. Vincent Moretti. The name alone is enough to resurrect every nightmare I thought I'd buried. The crime boss I helped put away, the man who swore he'd find me, who promised my death would be slow and public. He's free. And he knows. I should disappear. New city, new name, new life. It's what I was trained to do. But as I look back at Marco, still sleeping in the silver morning light, something inside me rebels. For the first time in 5 years, I've felt alive. Real. Wanted for who I am, not what I can provide to federal prosecutors. My phone buzzes. Marco's name lights up the screen. Running already? I expected better from you. I turn to find him awake, propped on one elbow, watching me with those devastating dark eyes. I have work, I lie. No, you have fear. He sits up, the sheet falling to reveal his sculpted chest. I recognize it because I live with it every day. The question is, what are you afraid of? You. What you'll do when you learn the truth. This is moving too fast, I say instead. Then slow it down. But don't run. He stands, crossing to me with predatory grace. I meant what I said last night, Sofia. I want to know you. All of you. The irony is devastating. He wants to know me, but knowing me will destroy everything. His phone rings, shattering the moment. He glances at the screen and his expression hardens into something frightening. I need to take this. Stay. Please. He walks to his office as I perch on the edge of the bed, straining to hear. I don't care what it costs. Vincent Moretti touches my territory, and it's war. Handle it, Tony. Permanently. My blood freezes. Vincent Moretti. Marco knows him. Of course he does. In this world, everyone knows everyone. Marco returns, his jaw tight. I'm sorry. Business crisis. What kind of business? He studies me, calculating how much to reveal. The kind that requires difficult decisions. My company has competitors who don't play by traditional rules. Competitors like Vincent Moretti? His eyes narrow. How do you know that name? My mind races. I heard you on the phone. Sofia. He cups my face, and there's something dangerous in his gentleness. In my world, knowledge is currency. And dangerous knowledge can get people killed. Forget you heard that name. Is he threatening you? He's threatening everything I built. But that's my problem, not yours. He kisses my forehead. Let me handle the monsters. You just, be here when I come back. After he leaves for his meeting, I'm alone in his penthouse. I should run. Instead, I do something far more dangerous. I search his office. The files I find paint a picture far darker than corporate warfare. Offshore accounts. Property holdings that make no business sense. A photograph of Marco with man I recognize from my previous life, associates of the Castellano organization. Not a legitimate businessman. A crime boss, just like Vincent Moretti. I've fallen in love with exactly the kind of man I helped destroy. My phone rings. My FBI handler. Julia, we've been monitoring communications. Vincent Moretti knows your location. But there's something else. Marco Castellano, the man you've been seeing, he's the head of the Castellano family. They're rivals to the Morettis. You've walked into a war zone. I didn't know. Extraction is ready. Tonight. Be at the corner of 5th and Madison at midnight. This is not optional. The line goes dead. I'm standing in Marco's office, surrounded by evidence of his criminal empire, when I hear the elevator doors open. He's back early. And he's not alone. Sofia? Marco's voice carries from the living room. I freeze, still standing in his office with files scattered across his desk. In here, I call back, my voice surprisingly steady. He appears in the doorway with another man, tall, menacing, with cold eyes that assess me like a threat. This is Tony, my head of security. Marco's tone is carefully neutral as he takes in the scene. Interesting reading? I could lie. I could pretend. Instead, exhaustion wins. When were you going to tell me who you really are? The question hangs between us. Tony's hand moves toward his jacket, but Marco raises a finger, stopping him. The same moment you were going to tell me who you really are, Sofia. Or should I call you Julia? My heart stops. He knows. Tony, leave us. Marco's voice is quiet, deadly. Boss, she could be. I said leave. The door clicks shut. We're alone. Marco circles his desk, sitting in his chair with terrifying calm. Julia Hendricks. Federal witness. Testified against the Moretti organization 5 years ago. 12 convictions, including Vincent Moretti himself. Witness protection relocated you to Phoenix, but you violated protocol and moved here 6 months ago. How long have you known? Since the second time you served me coffee. He taps his fingers on the desk. I run background checks on everyone who enters my life. Yours was interesting. Very thorough false identity, but not thorough enough. Then why? My voice breaks. Why pursue me? Why last night? He stands, moving to the window. Because despite knowing what you are, I can't seem to care. Do you understand how dangerous that is? How weak that makes me? Marco. I'm the head of the Castellano organization, Julia. Not a CEO. Not a businessman. I run this city's underground, and my enemies would kill to exploit any weakness. He turns to face me. You're not just a weakness. You're a nuclear bomb in my life. I never meant to hurt you. But you are hurting me. Right now. Because Vincent Moretti, the man you put in prison, he's declared war on me. And when he finds out I've been sleeping with the woman who destroyed him? Marco's laugh is bitter. He'll use you to tear me apart. That's why I have to leave. No. The word cracks like a whip. You leave, you die. Moretti has people everywhere. The only reason you're still breathing is because you're in my territory, under my protection. I didn't ask for your protection. You got it anyway. He crosses to me, gripping my arms. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to stay here, where I can keep you safe. In exchange, you're going to tell me everything you know about Moretti's operation. I can't betray the FBI. You already betrayed them by staying in the city. You think they don't know where you are? You think they're not watching, waiting to see what happens? His grip tightens. You're a pawn, Julia. To them, to Moretti, to everyone. Everyone except me. Why should I trust you? Because I'm the only one who's being honest. He releases me, stepping back. I want you. Not for information, not for leverage. I want you despite every logical reason I shouldn't. That's the truth. My phone buzzes. A text from my handler, midnight. 5th and Madison. Final warning. Marco sees my face. They want you to run. I nod. If you go with them, I can't protect you. Moretti's reach extends into federal agencies. You'll be moved, relocated, and eventually, he'll find you. And when he does, you'll die alone. And if I stay with you? You'll be in the middle of a war. But you'll be alive. And you'll be with me. It's an impossible choice. Safety versus love. Logic versus feeling. Before I can answer, Tony bursts through the door. Boss, we've got a situation. Moretti's men just hit our warehouse on the docks. 3 of ours are dead. Marco's transformation is instantaneous, the vulnerable man vanishing, replaced by something cold and lethal. Call everyone. Full lockdown. And get her to the safe room. Marco. He cups my face, and for a moment, I see fear in his eyes. Choose, Julia. Right now. Stay or go. The clock reads 6:47 p.m. I have 5 hours until my extraction. I'm staying. The words leave my mouth before my brain can stop them. Marco's eyes flash with something between relief and regret. Tony, take her to the safe room. Full security protocols. Wait, I grab Marco's arm. Where are you going? To handle this. Vincent wants war, I'll give him war. He turns to Tony. No one gets near her. Understood? The safe room is a fortified suite hidden behind a bookshelf in Marco's penthouse. Tony locks me inside without a word, and suddenly I'm alone with my thoughts and the muffled sounds of Marco's empire mobilizing for violence. I've made my choice. No extraction. No FBI. I've chosen a criminal over my own safety. What terrifies me most is that it feels right. Hours pass. I pace the luxurious prison, watching news reports of gang violence on the docks. The media doesn't know they're watching a war begin. At 11 p.m., the door unlocks. Marco enters, and my breath catches. There's blood on his shirt cuff. Not his own, I realize with disturbing certainty. Is it over? I ask. It's just beginning. He crosses to the bar, pouring whiskey with shaking hands. Moretti hit 3 of my locations tonight. 12 dead. He's sending a message. What message? That he knows about you. Marco downs the whiskey. His men left a note at the warehouse. The waitress dies first. My legs give out. Marco catches me, pulling me against his chest. I won't let that happen, he murmurs into my hair. I'll burn this entire city down before I let him touch you. This is because of me. All those deaths are because of Vincent Moretti's ego and my refusal to bow to him. You're just the excuse. He tilts my chin up. Do you regret staying? I should say yes. Instead, I kiss him. It's desperate, violent, a collision of fear and need. His hands tangle in my hair as he backs me against the wall. For a moment, there's nothing but sensation, his mouth on mine, his body pressing me into the wall, the taste of whiskey and danger. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. I need you to understand something, Marco says, his forehead against mine. In my world, showing weakness gets you killed. Love is the ultimate weakness. What I feel for you could destroy everything I've built. Then why risk it? Because for the first time in my life, something matters more than the empire. His laugh is bitter. My father would be ashamed. He raised me to value power above all else. What happened to him? He loved the wrong woman. She betrayed him to his enemies. He died because he trusted her. Marco's eyes bore into mine. Do you understand what I'm saying, Julia? I'm choosing to trust you despite knowing exactly how the story could end. The weight of his words crushes me. Marco, I would never. My phone rings. Unknown number. Marco's jaw tightens. Don't answer. But something makes me look at the screen. A text appears. Hello, Julia. This is Vincent. I believe you're acquainted with Marco Castellano. Here's what's going to happen, you're going to help me destroy him, or I'm going to send your real identity to every news outlet in the country. Imagine the headlines, federal witness in bed with mafia boss. Your handler's career ends. The FBI's credibility shatters. And Marco? He'll know you were still reporting to the feds the whole time. You have 24 hours to decide. I'll be in touch. The phone slips from my hands. Marco picks it up, reads the message. His face drains of color. Were you? His voice is deadly quiet. Still reporting to the FBI? No. I haven't contacted them since. Since when, Julia? Since you decided to sleep with me? Since you decided I might be useful? That's not fair. Fair? He throws the phone against the wall. Nothing about this is fair. I'm trying to protect you while Moretti weaponizes you against me. I didn't ask for this. No, but you brought it into my life the moment you walked into that restaurant. He's shouting now, the control finally breaking. Every person who died tonight is dead because of you. The words hit like physical blows. He's right. This is my fault. Then let me go, I whisper. Let me turn myself into the FBI. They can relocate me, and you can focus on. You're not leaving. His voice is flat, final. You made your choice. Now you live with it. So I'm a prisoner? You're protected. He moves to the door. Tony will bring you food. Don't try to leave. The door locks behind him. I'm alone again, trapped in golden cage, with Vincent Moretti's ultimatum ticking down. Betray Marco or destroy everything. 24 hours to choose. 18 hours remain when Tony brings breakfast. He didn't sleep, Tony says, setting down the tray. Spent the whole night coordinating defenses, moving assets. Moretti's systematically attacking everything we own. How many more dead? 6 overnight. 2 of them were kids, Julia. Teenagers who worked our legitimate businesses. His eyes are hard. You understand what you brought into our lives? I never meant. Intentions don't matter. Results do. He turns to leave, then pauses. For what it's worth, I've never seen him like this about anyone. He'd usually cut his losses by now. But you? He's willing to lose everything for you. I hope you're worth it. The door locks again. I stare at my phone, at Vincent's message. The solution is obvious, agree to help him, then warn Marco. But Vincent isn't stupid. He'll have contingencies, tests, ways to verify my cooperation. At noon, a new message arrives. 12 hours left, Julia. To show good faith, tell me where Marco keeps his offshore account information. Simple test. Or should I start making calls to CNN? My hands shake as I type a response. I don't have access to that information. His reply is instant, you're in his penthouse. In his safe room. Don't insult my intelligence. Find it, or face the consequences. I look around the room. If Marco keeps sensitive files anywhere, it would be here, in his most secure location. An hour of searching reveals a hidden panel behind a painting. Inside, passports with Marco's face and different names, cash in multiple currencies, and a laptop. The laptop is password protected, but I remember Marco typing codes on his phone. I try his birthday. Nothing. The date we met. Nothing. Then, on impulse, I try my birthday, the fake one from my Sofia Martinez identity. The laptop unlocks. My heart sinks. He used my birthday as his password. The files are all here. Everything Vincent wants. Offshore accounts, business partners, compromising information on politicians and judges. Enough to dismantle Marco's entire empire. I could photograph these files. Send them to Vincent. Save myself. Instead, I close the laptop. I'm not that person anymore. I can't betray Marco, even to save myself. My phone rings. Vincent, calling this time. Mr. Moretti, I answer. Have you made your decision, Julia? I can't help you. His laugh is cold. Then you've chosen death. Interesting. I didn't think Castellano had it in him to inspire that kind of loyalty. This isn't about loyalty. It's about being able to live with myself. Noble. Stupid, but noble. Here's what happens now. In 3 hours, I'm releasing your identity to the press. By tonight, every news station will be running your story. The FBI will be forced to arrest Marco for compromising a federal witness. You'll both be destroyed. Do what you have to do. Oh, I will. But first, I think I'll send some flowers to Marco's mother. She's in that lovely facility in Connecticut, isn't she? St. Mary's Assisted Living? My blood runs cold. Don't you dare. Then help me, Julia. It's simple. Marco's account information for his mother's safety. You have 1 hour to decide. He hangs up. I'm still staring at the phone when the door unlocks. Marco enters, looking exhausted and dangerous. We need to talk, he says. Marco, Moretti called me. He made me an offer. Marco's voice is eerily calm. He'll back off, end the war, if I give him one thing. What? You. The word hangs in the air between us. He wants you delivered to him by midnight. In exchange, he'll retreat, and my people stop dying. Marco won't meet my eyes. He was very specific about what he plans to do to you. Very detailed. What did you tell him? Finally, he looks at me. I told him I'd think about it. The betrayal cuts deeper than any knife. You're actually considering it. 18 people are dead, Julia. 18 families destroyed. My mother's facility was vandalized last night, a warning. How many more have to die for this? So you'll just hand me over to be tortured and killed? I'll end a war that's destroying everything I built. He's shouting again. This is what you don't understand, I'm responsible for hundreds of people. Their families depend on me. My decisions affect thousands of lives. And I'm supposed to sacrifice all of them for one woman? Then do it. I'm crying now, but my voice is steady. Give me to Moretti. End this. Julia. You're right. I brought this into your life. Let me be the one to end it. He stares at me, and I see the war raging behind his eyes. There might be another way, he finally says. But you're not going to like it. Tell me. We fake your death. Make Moretti think he won. Then we disappear, both of us. New identities, new lives. Let Tony run the organization. You'd give up everything? I'd give up everything for you. He crosses to me, cupping my face. But we leave tonight. Before Moretti's deadline. before he can make another move. It's the solution. The escape. We could both survive. But my phone buzzes with a message that destroys everything. Change of plans, Julia. I'm at St. Mary's now. With Marco's mother. You have 30 minutes to arrive with the account information, or she dies. Come alone. If Marco follows, she dies. If you call the police, she dies. If you're late, she dies. The address is attached. Tick-tock. I look up at Marco, who hasn't seen the message yet. I have 30 minutes to choose, his mother's life or our escape. I delete the message before Marco can see it. Okay, I tell him. Let's disappear. Together. The lie tastes like ash in my mouth. Marco's relief is devastating. Tony's preparing to plane. We leave in 2 hours. New names, new lives. There's a place in New Zealand. I need to say goodbye to my apartment first. Get some things. Julia, there's no time. Please. I grip his hands. Just a few personal items. Photos of my parents, my mother's necklace. I can't leave them behind. He studies my face, and I force myself not to look away. 30 minutes. Tony will drive you. Take everything you need, but be quick. Can I go alone? I need a moment to process this, to say goodbye to this life. It's not safe. Marco, please. Let me have this one thing. 30 minutes of privacy to grieve the life I'm leaving behind. Finally, he nods. 30 minutes. Then we leave this all behind. I kiss him, pouring everything I feel into it, all the love, all the regret, all the goodbye I can't speak aloud. Tony drives me down in silence. When we reach the lobby, I turn to him. Take care of him, I say. Tony's eyes narrow. What are you planning? Just promise me. Whatever happens, protect him. Julia. But I'm already out of the car, running toward the street, hailing a cab. St. Mary's Assisted Living in Connecticut, I tell the driver. I'll pay triple if you break every speed limit. 22 minutes later, I walk into the facility's lobby. A man in an expensive suit rises from a chair. Julia Hendricks. Punctual. I appreciate that. Vincent Moretti looks exactly like his photographs, silver-haired, distinguished, the kind of man who could be a senator or a serial killer. Where is she? In her room. Unharmed, for now. He gestures toward the elevator. The account information? I pull out my phone, showing him the photographs I took of Marco's laptop screen before I left. Everything you asked for. He examines them, nodding. Excellent. This will do nicely. Now let her go. Of course. But first, we need to discuss terms. We had a deal. That was before I realized something interesting. Vincent's smile is predatory. Marco Castellano doesn't love easily. In fact, in 30 years of watching him, I've never seen him care about anyone. But you? He was willing to abandon his empire for you. That kind of leverage is priceless. You said you'd let her go if I brought you the information. I said she'd be unharmed. And she is. But you? You're coming with me. I'm going to send Marco video of what happens to people who testify against me. Every day for a month, I'm going to break you a little more. And I'm going to make him watch. My blood turns to ice. He'll kill you. He'll try. But first, he'll suffer. And that's worth more to me than any bank account. He nods to 2 men I hadn't noticed. They grab my arms. Vincent, please. Save it. You put me in prison for 5 years. Did you think I'd forget? His voice drips venom. Every day in that cell, I imagined this moment. They're dragging me toward a service entrance when chaos erupts. The lobby doors burst open. Marco storms in with a dozen armed men, Tony at his side. Let her go, Vincent. Vincent presses a gun to my temple. How did you find us? Did you really think I wouldn't have her phone tracked? Marco's voice is deadly calm. Let her go. Or what? You'll shoot me? Your bullet has to go through her first. The standoff freezes. Marco's eyes meet mine across the lobby. I'm sorry, I whisper. I had to save your mother. Something in his face breaks. Julia, no. She's in room 304, I tell him. Get her out of here. I'm not leaving without you. This is my fault. Let me fix it. Vincent's grip tightens. How touching. But I'm afraid. The gun goes off. Everything happens in slow motion. I feel Vincent jerk behind me, his grip loosening. I twist away as his body falls. Marco's mother stands in the doorway to the lobby, a small pistol in her trembling hands. No one threatens my son, she says calmly. The room explodes into violence. Marco's men engage Vincent's guards. Bullets fly. I dive behind a planter as the lobby becomes a war zone. Through the chaos, Marco fights his way to me. Are you hurt? No, We're leaving. Now. He pulls me toward the exit as Tony covers our retreat. We're almost to the doors when Vincent, wounded but alive, raises his gun. Marco! I scream. Everything stops. Vincent aims at Marco's back. I don't think. I just move. The bullet meant for Marco tears through my shoulder instead. I hit the ground hard, pain exploding through my body. Marco catches me before my head hits the marble. Julia. No, 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 his hands press against the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Tony puts 2 bullets in Vincent. This time, he stays down. Stay with me, Marco's voice breaks. Julia, stay with me. Your mother. I manage. Is she safe? She's fine. You're fine. You're going to be fine. But his hands are covered in my blood, and his eyes are wild with fear. I'm sorry, I whisper. For everything. For bringing this into your life. Don't you dare apologize. He lifts me into his arms. Tony. Get the car. Now. The world starts to blur. Sirens wail in the distance. People are screaming. Marco, I grip his jacket. If I don't make it. You're making it. You don't get to leave me now. You chose to stay, remember? You don't get to take that back. His face is the last thing I see before darkness takes me. I wake up to the sterile smell of hospitals and the steady beep of monitors. Marco sits beside my bed, his head in his hands. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. His clothes are rumpled, still stained with blood. My blood. Marco? His head snaps up. For a moment, he just stares at me like I might disappear. You're awake. His voice is hoarse. Thank God, you're awake. How long? 3 days. The bullet nicked an artery. You almost died on the operating table. He takes my hand, gripping it like a lifeline. Twice. You died twice. The memory crashes back. Vincent. The gun. Throwing myself in front of Marco. Your mother? Safe. She's in a secure facility now with round-the-clock protection. She keeps asking about you. A ghost of a smile crosses his face. She says you're a keeper. Anyone willing to take a bullet for her boy is family. And Vincent? Dead. Tony made sure of it. Marco's expression hardens. The Moretti organization is in chaos. His second-in-command reached out offering peace terms. The war's over. What about the FBI? Vincent was going to expose me. Taken care of. Your handler made a deal. In exchange for information about Vincent's network that you provided through me, they're closing your file. Julia Hendricks no longer exists in any federal database. As far as the government's concerned, you really are Sofia Martinez now. I should feel relief. Instead, I feel empty. So that's it? We just go back to normal? Marco's laugh is bitter. There's nothing normal about this, Julia. You almost died saving me. 18 people did die because of us. My organization is weakened, my mother traumatized. We've left a trail of bodies and broken lives. Then maybe we should end this. Maybe everyone would be safer if... Don't. His grip on my hand tightens. Don't you dare suggest leaving. Not after what you just sacrificed. I took a bullet, Marco. I didn't sign up for forever. You chose me. At St. Mary's, when you deleted Vincent's message and went alone. When you threw yourself in front of that gun. You chose me over everything else. That was adrenaline. That was love. He stands, pacing. And it terrifies me. Because I love you too. So much that I'm willing to risk everything I've built, everything I am. But I need to know, was it real for you? Or was it just a moment of sacrifice? The question hangs in the sterile air. I think about the past 3 months. The lies, the danger, the impossible choices. I think about who I was, Julia Hendricks, federal witness, always running. And who I've become, someone willing to die for another person. It was real, I finally say. It is real. But Marco, I don't know if love is enough. Look at what we've cost each other. Then we make it enough. He returns to my bedside, taking both my hands now. Here's what I'm proposing, I step back from the organization. Not completely, I can't just walk away, but I let Tony handle day-to-day operations. We leave the city for a while. Go somewhere quiet, heal, figure out if this can actually work outside of crisis mode. You'd really do that? My father died because he loved the wrong woman. I'm not making that mistake. You're the right woman, Julia. The only woman. But I need to know you're all in, not just surviving with me but choosing to build a life with me. A knock interrupts us. Tony enters, looking uncomfortable. Sorry to interrupt, boss. But we've got a situation. Marco's jaw tightens. What now? Federal agents downstairs. They're asking to speak with both of you. My heart sinks. I thought you said my file was closed. It is. Tony's expression is grim. They're not here about Julia's witness protection. They're here about the shootout at St. Mary's. Multiple deaths, dozens of witnesses. Marco, they're building a case. The room goes cold. How bad? Marco asks. Bad enough that my lawyer says you should prepare for indictment. Murder charges, racketeering, organized crime. They've been building this for months. Vincent's death just gave them the excuse they needed. I watch Marco process this, see the calculation in his eyes. He could run. He has the resources to disappear. Instead, he looks at me. Here's my choice, Julia. I can fight this, drag it out in court for years. Keep you tangled in my mess. Or I can take a deal, serve time, and you get to live your life. Free. Clear. Don't do this. I'm doing this. His voice is firm. You've sacrificed enough. Your turn to be selfish. Your turn to choose yourself. What if I choose you? Then you're an idiot. But there are tears in his eyes. Julia, I'm looking at 5 to 10 years minimum. That's 5 to 10 years of prison visits, of waiting, of your life on hold. I can't ask that of you. You're not asking. I'm offering. I sit up despite the pain. You said you needed to know if I was all in. Here's your answer, I'll wait. However long it takes. Tony clears his throat. The agents are getting impatient. Marco stands, straightening his blood-stained shirt. Tell them I'll be down in 5 minutes. I'm not running. After Tony leaves, Marco leans down and kisses me. It's gentle, devastating, full of goodbye. I need you to promise me something, he whispers against my lips. Anything. Live your life. Don't put it on hold for me. If someone else comes along. Marco. Promise me, Julia. Promise you won't waste your life waiting for a man who might never get out. Tears stream down my face. I promise I'll live. But I'm not promising to stop loving you. He kisses me one more time, then walks to the door. Marco? He turns back. 5 to 10 years. I'll be here when you get out. His smile is broken and beautiful. Then I guess I'd better survive prison. The door closes behind him. Through the window, I watch federal agents let him away in handcuffs. He doesn't look back. 2 years later. I stand outside Sing Sing Correctional Facility, my hands shaking slightly as I sign the visitor's log. 23 months since Marco's arrest. 23 months of weekly visits, monitored phone calls, and a life suspended in amber. The guard who knows me by now nods. Martinez? He's in the visiting room. You know the drill. I do. Empty your pockets, walk through the metal detector, sit at the assigned table, wait. Marco appears in his prison uniform, and my heart still skips. He's thinner, harder, with new scars and shadows in his eyes. But when he sees me, he smiles. You came. I always come. We're not allowed to touch beyond a brief embrace at the beginning and end. So we sit across from each other, hands flat on the table, as close as we can get. You look good, he says. Different. Happy. I got promoted. Assistant manager now at a restaurant in Brooklyn. A real one this time, not a front. I smile. I'm using my real name. Sofia Martinez. It feels right now. I'm glad. And he means it. Tony tells me you've been helping with the legitimate businesses. Consulting on the restaurants. Someone has to keep your empire from falling apart while you're in here. It's not my empire anymore. I signed everything over to Tony, remember? I'm just a silent partner now. Marco's expression is complicated. How's my mother? Good. She's painting again. She wants to do a show when you get out. When I get out. He laughs without humor. My lawyer says the parole board might consider early release in 3 years. 5 years total instead of 10. If I keep my head down, play model prisoner. You can do 5 years. Can you? The question sits between us. Can I? Can anyone? I'm not going anywhere, Marco. You should. He leans forward, intense. Julia, you're 28 years old. You could have a real life, a normal relationship. Kids, a house, someone who comes home to you every night instead of seeing you through bulletproof glass once a week. I don't want normal. I want you. You want the idea of me. The man you fell in love with during the crisis. But that man doesn't exist anymore. Prison changes people. Then I'll love whoever you become. What if I'm worse? What if I come out harder, colder? Tony tells me I'm different on the phone. More like my father. Your father loved deeply enough to die for it. That's not a bad thing to become. A guard announces 5 minutes remaining. There's something I need to tell you, Marco says carefully. The Morettas, what's left of them, they've reached out through intermediaries. They want to consolidate, merge operations with what Tony's running. Peace treaty. It's good business. But it means working with the people who tried to kill you. Who killed 18 of my people? I told Tony to refuse. Marco, don't refuse good business because of me. It's not because of you. It's because I can't forgive them. Not yet. Maybe not ever. His hands clench into fists. In here, I've had nothing but time to think about every decision I made, every person who died. I can't just make peace with that. Then don't. But don't let hatred consume you either. What else do I have in here except hatred? It's what keeps me going, what gets me through each day. You have me. You have the promise of a life after this. Do I? His voice drops. Because some days I think you're just a dream I had, that you'll realize one day this is insane and disappear. And I wouldn't blame you. I reach across the table, breaking protocol. Our fingers touch for just a moment before the guard barks a warning. I'm real, I tell him. This is real. And I'm not leaving. The guard calls time. We stand. Marco pulls me into a brief embrace, and I feel how thin he's become, how tightly wound. 3 more years, he whispers. Then I'm yours. Completely. No more empire, no more organization. Just us. 3 more years, I echo. I'll be here. He releases me, and I watch him walk back through the security door, disappearing into the prison's depths. Outside, I sit in my car for 10 minutes before I can drive. These visits always leave me shaken, questioning everything. My phone rings. Tony. How was he? The same. Determined. Harder. He's surviving. That's what matters. Tony pauses. Look, I know it's not my place, but you should know, there are people interested in you. Good people. You don't have to wait. I know I don't have to. I want to. Even if he comes out different? Even if he can't be the man you fell in love with? Then I'll love the man he's become. That's what this means, Tony. That's what love is. He sighs. You're either the most loyal person I've ever met or the most foolish. Maybe both. Probably both. After he hangs up, I drive to the small apartment I rent in Brooklyn. It's nothing like Marco's penthouse, but it's mine. Filled with books and plants and signs of a life I'm slowly building. On my nightstand is a photo from before, Marco and me at his penthouse, happy, oblivious to the storm coming. Some days I look at it and wonder if that happiness was real or just borrowed time. My laptop dings with an email. It's from the prison system, Castellano, Marco, Disciplinary Action Report. My heart stops as I open it. Marco was involved in an altercation with another inmate. 3 days in solitary confinement. Parole hearing eligibility delayed 6 months. I'm reading the details when my phone rings again. Unknown number. Hello? Sofia Martinez? A woman's voice, official. This is Warden Chen from Sing Sing. I'm calling about Marco Castellano. He's been injured and is requesting to see you. How soon can you get here? The call I'd been waiting for comes on a Tuesday morning in spring. Sofia? It's happening. Parole board approved him. He's being released Friday. I drop the whisk I'm holding, chocolate batter splattering across my restaurant's kitchen floor. My restaurant, I bought it 2 years ago with money saved from managing Marco's legitimate businesses. Friday, I repeat. 3 days. 3 days, Tony confirms. I'm sending a car. Unless you want to pick him up yourself? No. Send the car. I'll meet him at home. Home. The brownstone in Brooklyn I bought last year. Not the penthouse, that belongs to another life. This is something we can build together. If he still wants to. 5 years is a long time. Longer than our actual relationship was. I've changed. He's changed. We've existed in limbo, connected by weekly visits and monitored phone calls, but fundamentally separate. What if he walks out and realizes he doesn't love this version of me? Sofia? Tony's voice pulls me back. You okay? Terrified. Good. That means it matters. Friday morning, I wake at dawn. I've planned everything, his favorite meal cooking, fresh clothes and his size laid out, flowers on the table. But by noon, I'm pacing. What if this doesn't work? What if 5 years of prison has changed him into someone I can't reach? The door opens at 2 p.m. Marco Castellano walks into our brownstone, and I forget how to breathe. He's older, the silver in his hair more pronounced. There are new scars, new lines around his eyes. But when he sees me, really sees me, that smile, the one I fell in love with, breaks across his face. Sofia. Just my name, but it contains everything. I cross to him, and we collide in the middle of the room. His arms wrap around me, and he's shaking, or maybe I'm shaking, or maybe we both are. You're real, he murmurs into my hair. 5 years, and I was still afraid you'd be gone. I'm here. I'm right here. We stand like that for minutes, just holding each other, relearning the feel and fit of bodies that have been apart too long. Finally, he pulls back, cupping my face. Let me look at you. I'm older. I cut my hair. You're beautiful. More beautiful than I remembered, and I remembered every day. You're thinner. Prison food isn't great. He laughs, and it's rusty but real. But I'm out now. I'm really out. I show him the house, our house. The kitchen where I cook, the living room with books and art, the bedroom with windows overlooking a small garden. This is what you built while I was gone, he says, wonder in his voice. This is what we're going to build together. If you want. He turns to me, serious now. I need you to understand something. I'm not the same man who went to prison. 5 years inside changes you. I'm harder now, have less patience for things that don't matter. I see the world differently. I know. I'm different too. I'm not the scared witness anymore or the woman who couldn't choose a side. I know who I am now. And who are you? Someone who loves you. Someone who's willing to build a life that's complicated and imperfect but ours. Marco sits on the couch, and I see the exhaustion hit him. I'm terrified I'll drag you back into darkness. That I'll never be fully clean of who I was. I sit beside him, taking his hand. Tony told me you completely severed ties with the organization. Everything's legitimate now. As legitimate as it can be, given the history. Some stains don't wash out. He squeezes my hand. But I swear to you, Sofia, the life I'm building from here is legal. Boring, even. Restaurants, real estate investment, nothing that risks going back inside. What do you want, Marco? Not what you think I want. What do you actually want? He's quiet for a long moment. Peace. I want mornings where the biggest crisis is choosing what coffee to make. I want to help you run this restaurant, maybe open more. I want normal, boring, beautiful peace. With you. Then that's what we'll build. Just like that? Just like that. 5 years, Marco. I didn't wait this long to complicate it now. He pulls me close, and this time when he kisses me, it's different from before. Not desperate or dangerous, but solid. Real. A promise being kept. I love you, he says. I loved you in the chaos, and I love you in the quiet. Whatever comes next, as long as it's with you. I love you too. The man you were, the man you are, whoever you'll become. We spend the rest of the day doing beautifully normal things. Cooking together, talking about the restaurant's menu, planning trips we want to take. Marco meets the staff at the restaurant that evening, and if anyone recognizes his name, they're too polite to mention it. That night, lying in bed in our brownstone, Marco traces patterns on my shoulder, the shoulder that still carries a scar from the bullet I took for him. Do you ever regret it? He asks. That night at St. Mary's? Everything that came after? Never. Do you? I regret the people who died. The pain we caused. But us? Never. He kisses the scar. We paid for this. In blood, in time, in suffering. Now we get to keep it. What do we do with it? We live, Sofia. We live the life we fought for. Quietly, simply, gratefully. 6 months later, I stand in the kitchen of our brownstone, morning light streaming through windows, while Marco makes coffee and hums off-key. It's not perfect. He still has nightmares sometimes. I still flinch at loud noises. We're both marked by what we survived. But we're here. Together. Building something real from the ashes of everything we destroyed. Tony visits for Sunday dinner, bringing Marco's mother, who's finishing her painting series about redemption and second chances. You too, she says, looking at us across the table. You've earned this happiness. Don't waste it on guilt. We won't, Marco promises, taking my hand. And we don't. We build a life, simple, legal, occasionally boring. The restaurant expands to 3 locations. Marco starts a foundation for families affected by crime. We travel, we laugh, we heal. Some nights I look at him and remember the man in the expensive suit at table 7, dangerous and magnetic. Other nights I see him in pajamas arguing about whether we need more plants, and I love this version even more. What are you thinking? He asks one evening as we watch the sunset from our garden. That we made it. Against every odd, every obstacle, we actually made it. We did. He pulls me closer. The Mafia Don and his favorite waitress. Hell of a story. What would you have done differently? If you could go back? He considers this. I would have told you the truth earlier. Saved us both some pain. I would have trusted you sooner. Not run. But maybe we needed the chaos to find the peace. He kisses my temple. Maybe the hard way was the only way. Maybe, I agree. Later, as we head inside, I catch our reflection in the window, 2 people who survived impossible odds, who chose each other when it would have been easier to walk away. This is love, I think. Not the dramatic, dangerous kind from our beginning, but the steady, choosing you every day kind that's even more powerful. Marco catches me looking and smiles, the expression that's mine alone. Happy? He asks. Incredibly, I answer. And I mean it. We close the door on the past and step into our future, messy, real, and ours.